Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Royal Ascot here on Thursday. It is June the 22nd, 2017. Gonna look at all the races on day 3 of the Royal Meeting from Ascot, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. It's a great card from Ascot today, and I really like some of the races, like the Norfolk is going to be a great one this year, and the Gold Cup looks very nice also. So let's get on to it. We have 6 races to look at, starting off with the 2:30, the first race from Royal Ascot. It is the Group 2 Norfolk Stakes. It's for Class 1 horses here, going for a purse of $123,000. That's in American currency, so don't get confused. It's for 2-year-olds only. Field of 18 horses going the 1,000-meter trip or 5 furlongs on the turf course. Keep in mind, today it won't be as warm as it has been the last few days, so just keep that in mind. So some of the horses that really don't do well in warm weather will maybe do a little bit better here today. The last few days I think it's been hitting 90 degrees Fahrenheit near Ascot, which is really warm weather right here for the England this time of year, this time anytime. But back to the race now, the Norfolk. You have an American in this one, with it being the number 9 horse, McErin, and I think she'll run a very big one here today. She's the fastest horse. She's run some very tough races, and I think she'll run a big one. So the 9 horse McErin will be my top pick. I'm gonna go 9, 16, 14 in the tricast of the trifecta. 9, 16, 14. My top pick, number 9 McErin, 3-1. John Velasquez, New York-based rider, is on this Wesley Ward trained 2-year-old colt out of Trap Shot. Most recently, this horse has started on the 4th of May at Churchill Downs. 5 furlongs in the Kentucky Juvenile. This horse finished 3rd that day. It was an all-out finish, and this horse just missed. Disappointing beat, but he ran his heart out that day. I think to turf, where it's going to be this horse's better surface, this horse should have a very good one. He's also the speediest horse in this bunch. Start before at Keeneland, 4.5 furlongs in the main special weight. This horse won by length that day. Like most Keeneland 2-year-old races, Wesley Ward really dominates them. This horse was the usual, went straight to lead and had a clear, easy victory. Just a very nice ride. I think here today this horse should have a very good run. Decent post draw. John Velasquez and Wesley Ward have already teamed up with a victory with Lady Aurelia on Tuesday. Like I said, I think this horse is the best by a mile in this bunch, so I think she'll run a big one. So to recap my bets for today's first race, 2:30 from Royal Ascot, it's the Group 2 Norfolk Stakes. Gonna go with the 9 horse McErin. Gonna go 9, 16, 14 in the tricast of the trifecta. To race number 2 now, the 3:05 from Royal Ascot. It's the Hampton Court Stakes. It's a Group 3 race here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $110,500. It's for 3-year-olds only. Field of 16 horses going the 2,000-meter trip or 1 mile and 1/4 on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 11 horse, number 11, Order of the Garter. I'm going to go 11, 2, 3 in the tricast of the trifecta. 11, 2, 3. My top pick, number 11, Order of the Garter. 7-1, Ride More for Aidan O'Brien. This horse had a start in France on June the 4th at Chantilly. Mile and a quarter in the Group 1 Prix du Jockey Club. This horse finished 6 by 2 3/4 lengths that day. The winner, Bremtot, just ran a hell of a race. That horse won the 2,000 guineas also in France. This horse just really couldn't catch him. I think coming back to the UK, coming to this ground, he should have a lot better of a run. Start before in the SA Poulains at Deauville, 1 mile on May the 14th, basically the French 2,000 guineas. Horse finished 5th by 9 lengths that day behind Bremtot, who won next start out in the Prix du Jockey Club. Le Bravido, who I believe won yesterday at Ascot, and Rivet, a very nice horse based in the UK, finished 3rd that day at Deauville. This horse just really didn't quicken up. I don't think the mile distance is to this horse's liking. I think he'll be a better 1.25 mile horse. He is, he does have an outside post draw, which isn't ideal, but I think Ride More will get this horse over to the rail and save some ground. He's getting the mile and a quarter today. He's gonna, he's facing lesser quality than he did his last two. He should run a very good one. His last win came in early April at Leopardstown, going a mile in the listed stakes. Horse won by 3 3/4 lengths, quickened up nicely, an all-around great victory. He's run some very tough races. I think he'll run a big one here with the step down in class. So watch out for this horse at 7-1. So to recap my bets for the second from Royal Ascot, the 305. It is the Hampton Court Stakes, the Group 3 Hampton Court Stakes. Gonna go with the 11 horse order of the Garter. Gonna go 11-2-3 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 3 now, the 340 from Royal Ascot. It is the Group 2 Ribblesdale Stakes. It's for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $264,500. It's for 3-year-olds only, field of 12 horses going the distance of ground of 2,400 meters or 1 mile and 1/2 on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I love the number 5 horse, Corin. Hopefully, pardon me if I mispronounce anything wrong during this video. I like the number 5 horse, Coronet. I'm going to go 5-1-8 in the TriCast of the trifecta, 5-1-8. My top pick, number 5, Coronet. John Gosden trains this 3-year-old filly out of Dubawi. Olivier Pellier is on this one. Breaking from stall number 1, which I think is great for this spot. Getting the mile and a half. This horse should run a big one. Stepping down class. Most recently, June 2nd, about 3 weeks ago now, at Epsom. Mile and a half in the Investic Oaks. Horse finished 5th by 16 lengths that day. Keep in mind there was a downpour right before the race, and this horse just didn't show up. I think this horse will really love a firmer ground. They are expecting a tiny bit of rain today, the last I saw, but I think the tiny bit of rain should help this, should help the ground get a little bit it won't be very soft, but it won't be as firm as it has been the last 2 days, and I think the horse should really like a little bit of a little bit of moisture in the ground. That race at Epsom gets tougher. She just didn't show up, but I think her start before in France wasn't half bad in the Group 1 St. Ellery. This horse finished 3rd by 4 3/4 lengths that day, and quickened up nicely. It wasn't a half bad race, and an all-out finish, but she just couldn't get that, she just couldn't get her little extra good kick. She's getting the mile and a half today, which I think is ideal. She should run a big one. She as a 2-year-old, she was undefeated. She won at Leicester very nicely, breaking her maiden, and won a listed stakes very nicely at Newmarket back in the fall. She should run a very big one. Like I said, stepping down in class, good post draw, good rider. Watch out for this one here today at 5-1. I'm going to try and beat the Aidan O'Brien horse, the 1 horse. So to recap my bets for race number 3, the 340 from Ascot, it's the Group 2 Ribblesdale Stakes. Going to go with the 5 horse Coronet. Going to go 5-1-8 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 4 now, the 420 from Royal Ascot. It is the Group 1 Gold Cup. It's going for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $492,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards, field of 14 horses going the distance of ground of 2 miles and 1/2, or 2 miles 4 furlongs. And this is a race I can assure you, in the next 10 years, you'll probably never see an American horse in this race, because the American stayers population is 0.0. That's something I really like. That's why I like betting these races from the UK, because you have a lot more longer races. The longest distance in North America on an average card is about a mile, which is pathetic. In the UK, the average distance of a race is, almost, a lot of the races are run at a mile and a quarter to a mile and a half, which I love. In America, they just do not run those races. Except in New York. In New York, they'll run a little bit mile and a quarter races on the turf, which I think is very nice. But everywhere else, you don't see races over basically a mile. But so looking at a 2 mile and a half race is very unique for me sometimes. But you have a very nice group of horses in this one. The favorite order, St. George, looks tough to beat on paper, but at 4-5 in a Group 1, I think you could maybe go another way with a bit of a price. I like the 5 horse Shake Hazard Road, but to tell you, he's 10-1. I think he could maybe beat Order St. George. If Order St. George wins, I wouldn't be surprised, because he's a good horse and he likes this grounds. But it's just the 4-5 scares me in this spot. So I'm gonna go with the 5 horse Shake Hazard Road as top pick. I'll go 5-3-1 in the TriCast to the trifecta, 5-3-1. But my top pick, number 5. 5 Shake Hazard Road, 10-1 Martin Harley for David Simcock. This 8-year-old gelding out of Dubawi, last run came March 25th at Maidan. 2 miles yielding going in the Group 2 Dubai Gold Cup. Horse finished third by 1/2 lengths behind Varzi Bad and Beautiful Romance. This horse was closing up a little bit at the end. He needed that extra kick, but it wasn't a half bad race on the yielding going. With drier ground today, I think this horse should really run a big one. I think he should really like a firmer grounds. Start 4 at Maidan. Good going, mile 3/4 in the Group 3 Nat Al Sheba Trophy. Horse finished third by 4 3/4 lengths. He needed that race. It was his first off the layoff, and he didn't quicken up as quick as the other ones, the two in front of him that day, and plus he's a better 2-mile horse. He's a 2 miles and over specialist. But start 4 October the 15th at regular Ascot. 2 miles, 3,200 meters in Group 2 Quipo British Champions Long Distance Cup. Horse won by half length at 11-1 that day. This horse quickened up nicely. It was an all-around great victory. He's done well here at Ascot in the past, and I think he'll run a very big one here again today. Before that, he won the Doncaster Cup at Doncaster very nicely, going 2 miles and 2 furlongs, and he finished third in the Qatar Goodwood Cup in late July of 2016. I think he'll run a big one here today. His last victory came here. Firmer ground should be nice also. Good weight of 128 pounds, so watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for race number 4, the 420 from Royal Ascot, it's the Group 1 Gold Cup. Gonna go with the 5-horse Shake Hazard Road. Gonna go 5-3-1 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 5 now, the 5 o'clock from Royal Ascot. It is and pardon me if I mispronounce this race, mispronounced the race name wrong. It is the Britannia Stakes. It's a handicap here for Class 2 horses, going for a purse of $147,500. It's for 3-year-old colts and geldings only. Field of 33 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the turf course. Keep in mind the 31, 32, and 33 are also eligible, so only 30 could go. And a bit of a wide open race. I like the number 3 horse, Metahem. I'm going to go 13, 16, 14 in the TriCast of the trifecta. That's basically my top 3. And to tell you the truth, I might just do an each way on each of the 3 of them, and hopefully I get lucky. But 13, 16, 14, my top 3. TriCast, trifecta, whatever. Top pick, number 13, Metahem, 20-1, Gregory Bonsoir, or hopefully I said that right, his last name, Gregory Bonwast, is on this Richard Hannon trained 3-year-old colt at a Kodiak Al-Shakab owned. Most recently made 27th at Goodwood, 7 furlongs in Class 2 handicap. Horse finished second by a half length that day. It was, had the 3-pound apprentice up that day of Doyle, and this horse, had a little bit of traffic trouble, didn't have the best of trips, got up for second, but I think he should improve a lot today. And with a more experienced rider, this horse should improve a lot. Start before at Sandown, April 28th, a mile in Class 2 handicap. This horse had an absolute disaster that day. Finished 13th by 10 lengths, beat nobody home, really hit the wall, was wide throughout. It's not ideal to, you do not want to be wide at Sandown. I think here on the straight mile, this horse should have a lot better of a run. I think the straight mile is this horse's best thing for her, or for him. And then start 4 at Wolverhampton, April 17th, 7 furlongs, Class 3 handicap. Horse from second by 3/4 length at 1-2. He really quickened up a little bit at the end, but just missed. First start back wasn't half bad race at all. And then first career outing came at Hampton back in early December, going 6 furlongs. Horse went by 3 1/4 lengths, quickened up nicely, an all-around great victory. I think this horse here at 20-1 can maybe get a piece of it. Should really improve off his last 2. Straight miles should really help also, so he'll be my top pick. So to recap my bets for the 5th from at Royal Ascot, it is the Britannia Stakes. Gonna go with the 13 horse Metahem. I'm gonna go 13, 16, 14 in the TriCast of the trifecta. That's my top 3. To tell you the truth, I might just do an each way wager on all 3 of them. Very small wager, maybe £2 each. So now let's get on to race number 6 from Royal Ascot, the final race on the program. It's the 535. It's the King George V Stakes. It's a Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $110,500. $500. It's for 3-year-olds only, rated 0 to 105. Field of 22 horses going the 2,400-meter trip, or 1 mile and 1/2 on the turf course. To keep in mind, the 20, 21, and 22 are also eligible, so only 19 can run. My top pick of this one, I like the number 4 horse, Utah. I'm going to go 4-10-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta, 4-10-7. My top pick, number 4, Utah, 12-1. Shamie Hefferman for Aiden O'Brien for the Coolmore Group, who's also, it's Coolmore Group and China Horse Club owns part of this horse also, so just keep that in mind. But, this horse made his first of the year at Curragh in Ireland, made the 28th mile and a quarter in the Group 3 Arlai Stud Glallanil Stakes. I mispronounced the race wrong, so just pardon that. This horse finished 6th by 4 lengths that day behind Homesman and Born to Play. This horse just didn't quicken up that day. First off the laugh, you expect this horse not to really run. I think second off, coming here to Ascot, this horse should have a lot better of a run. Start before on October the 2nd at Chantilly in France, 1 mile on Art Day in the Group 1 Prix Jean-Luc de Laudiguerre Stakes. Horse finished 7th by 12 lengths. He didn't show up again that day. That was a very tough race, and it just wasn't his day to win. I don't think the course layout was to his liking. And then start before at Tipperary in Ireland, August 25th, 7.5 furlongs on a handicap. Horse finished 2nd by 4.5 lengths. Just missed. Wasn't a half bad race at all. And before that, he won his maiden very nicely at Curragh, going a mile. The mile and a half for this horse should be ideal. He's been wanting it. He's getting it for the first time. He's bred to go the mile and a half. So watch out for this horse getting it today. So to recap my bets for the 6th, the 535 from Royal Ascot. It's the King George V Stakes. Going to go with the 4 horse Utah. Going to go 4-10-7 in the TriCast or the trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And join me tomorrow for more Royal Ascot preview. Good luck, everybody.